Hey, in a moment of impulsivity, I've decided to. Oh fuck! I'll just show you. That's the dog shit wood, and that's epoxy tinted with imbalance. I think I put a little bit too much gold metallic, and it's made it look quite bronzy. But it's it's the first time. Like, you got to experiment to try it. Like, you can watch as many YouTube videos as you like, but until you actually get hands on and do it, then just go for it. And I got my epoxy from easycomposites.co.uk, and they were really good. Actually, they delivered within 5 days. I had it actually up on my browser page for a really long time before I thought, fuck it, just buy it. And I've used the Glasscast 50, which is designed for deep pores. And I know, like, all the videos that I've seen talk a lot about, like, the smell. But you notice, I've done it indoors, which is going against the recommended manufacturer, but I can't pour it outdoors because the weather's too temperamental and I don't have, like, a marquee to cover it. So I just know some bird is going to land in it and get fucking stuck. I'm going to have to deal with killing the bird. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. And bubbles are a bit of a problem, but actually I'm going to lose the top like 5 millimeters anyway. And even if there are bubbles in it, I think it just adds to it because it's my first epoxy pour. And yeah, so it's Glasscast 50. It comes as a 5 kilo kit. I worked out the maths before I did it, and I was just like, I did a third of it, and that was a nightmare to weigh out because I'm very DIYer. That's my epoxy bucket, and I'm probably gonna have to bin it after I'm done, but it's fine. It was like 60p. And so far, no leaks, and there's 5 kilos of epoxy in here. It was just under like 250 quid. So it's by far the most expensive experiment I've ever done. But actually, when I look at it in this light, I can't really see it. But when obviously you look at it, it looks remarkably pretty. And I don't know, I kind of like it. The bubbles are doing my fucking head, and I'm not going to lie. The heat gun is just not cutting it. And it's because I didn't brush the sides. And I know Cam from Blacktail Studios goes on and on about brushing the sides because bubbles are the enemy. But it's my first time. And, if I can plane it off, then fine. I'm going to plane it off anyway, because the top layer, I'm going to cover it with a layer of tabletop epoxy, so it's protected. Yes, I do like the appearance of the wood, but I do kind of want it to last a long time. And even when I move out of this house, I'll probably take it with me, and just turn it into like a sort of miniature coffee table or something. So yeah, I've been using syringes to get it into, I don't know if you can see it, into that side there. So it's actually 2 bits of wood, and hopefully epoxy will bind it together. And as I said, so far, I mean, I've been at this for like maybe 30, 40 minutes. That silicone mold, I've read that you're supposed to use caulk and not silicone, but we'll see how badly it goes. And like I said, I can just plane it. And worst case scenario, and this is the absolute worst case scenario, other than it starts a house fire, is that I just bin it. And I can say, look, I've tried it, and these are the things that I've learned from, to get ready to do another again. Because I didn't pay for this wood; it was completely free, thanks to my good friend Emma Llewellyn, who's a fellow medic. So yeah, like I'm like more than happy so far. So we'll see, and it's apparently it's a 4-day cure. I've as you can see, I've used clamps to keep the wood down as much as I can, so it's going to be uneven on both the top and the bottom. And I'm going to think of do I buy a 1/2 inch shank router to jig it and do it that way, or do I just find someone who's got a thickness of planer that has got a depth of like 4 centimeters and do that? I've got no idea how I'm going to do this. No idea at all. But that's the whole point of being a DIY slash hobbyist woodworker. You sort of make up as you go along, and you find out what works for you and what works, what doesn't. So yeah, it's so pretty. I knew epoxy resin would be a pretty thing to work with, but oh my days, it is. Yep, just put my foot on a saw. I think the reason there's so many bubbles is because it's a very, I didn't seal it for one, and also I didn't, you know, I didn't brush the edges like, you know, Cam at Blacktail keeps going on about, and rightly so. Like, the guy's done literally hundreds of epoxy pours for every one video that he puts up. But I've got to say, like, Cam at Blacktail, John Malecki in the old days, they're definitely people that put the idea in my head, and I thought, I'll give it a go. I'll see if I can do that. So enough chatting. This is going to be a big ass video of me just talking. But yeah, later.